For years, Andrea and I have been very passionate about doing stories that reveal something to people that they might not know about. And I mean, a lot of reporters will tell you that, but this seemed particularly insidious to us, right? Having contaminants in your baby food or in your infant formula. We have some really great sources at some wonderful analytic labs across the country, one particularly in Denver. He called us up and he's like, you're not gonna believe what we're finding in baby food. We're finding heavy metals that are off the charts, finding lead, cadmium, arsenic. We knew right then and there that this was something we had to do stories on. For years, we've investigated the consistent failures of the FDA and industry to ensure safe food for infants and toddlers. Failures that have yet to be remedied.
We started just realizing that this problem wasn't getting addressed.
Your subcommittee was able to come up with reasonable standards and transfer those to the Baby Food Safety Act within weeks. Why can't the FDA do the same?
We wanted to keep putting this issue in front of people.
Is it good enough? Why isn't everybody doing this if it works so well?
I just don't know.
Are you the guy who's gonna get this done?
It felt for a while like we were just doing stories that weren't gonna lead anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, our frustration continued to build because we thought, for sure this is gonna change. And it didn't. Federal lawmakers couldn't agree uniformly that babies shouldn't be poisoned by their food. The Wanabana incident, the lead was so high that kids were immediately having effects to the point where their parents were taking them to the doctor and saying, something's not right, something's off.
How many of those pouches did you have in your house when we read that?
We had one. We had one left. Okay, so it says, hi, Ricky and Sarah. I'm an investigative reporter based in DC and have been doing stories on contaminated baby food and the baby food industry for at least the last 5 years. We would love to have you as part of one of our upcoming reports. We were unbelievably floored when we found out that Rudy had lead poisoning. He was this perfect little baby. And it wasn't anything that he did. He's in our environment doing the things that we're doing, and it felt like it was absolutely our fault that he was lead poisoned. Rudy's been subject to routine blood draws, and that is going to be something that continues throughout the rest of his life.
It was a Friday.
It was a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday, and I was sitting at my computer. My phone rang. I picked it up, and he said, this is Jason Nunez. I'm the chief of staff for Maryland Delegate Denny Taveras. We just saw your story, and we want to write a bill.
Hi. Hello, sweetie.
There are no limits set for these toxic ingredients by the FDA. What's your reaction to that?
It just seems like they don't care enough about this vulnerable population of people.
I think I was still watching the report, and then I called Delegate Tavera, so we have our next bill, and we submitted it to bill drafting, and then we had a draft within a few days.
He says he's a father. He was very interested, and he brought it to my attention. Given my scientific background, I knew immediately that was something we needed to act on quickly.
Yay! Something's happening, and we can report on something happening. A Maryland lawmaker is going to do something. It doesn't go anywhere.
Well, that was our previous experience, right? Every time a bill was written, it ended up going nowhere.
I'm real terca. A bill doesn't die until it's midnight at the end of the legislative session.
I think it was our first interview with Delegate Taveras. We said, hey, this seems like it's going to be hard, right? Do you remember what she said?
Yeah.
And she said, we're going to put on some lipstick and some comfortable shoes, and we're going to fight it out.
Yep. It's like surgery.
It is.
The cut and paste and all these specific terms. If it's an ad or if it's an or, it could kill a bill. And then we have advocates supporting the bill, advocates opposing the bill. And we have to make these changes to appease everyone, but at the same time, not lose the identity of the bill.
The chief of staff for Delegate Taveras, he asked me if I would be willing to testify before the House committee in Maryland.
With knowledge, lead poisoning is completely preventable. SB 723 would help other Maryland families avoid similar fates and allow for parents to quickly scan a barcode to make informed decisions when selecting the best baby food for their young child. After it passed the House, everybody approved it.
I had no doubt that this bill would move forward.
It went through a few amendments, and one of them was to name the bill, House Bill 95, Rudy's Law. after my son. And like, it made me feel really good to know that, you know, even despite this terrible experience that we've had, something good was able to come from it.
It was one of my first times leaving my daughter and traveling away from her. And my husband recorded a video of her. She looked at the camera and said, "I'm proud of you, Mommy." And that stayed with me that whole day of like feeling like I accomplished something that will not only help her, right, to some extent, and something I'll be proud of for the rest of my life to tell her, but also for all parents and for all babies.
If it weren't for Lisa Fletcher, who pursued this story, I felt fortunate that it reached the ears of somebody like Jason Nunez, who has my ear.
If it wasn't for reporting, there's no way we would have known. There's no way that we would have presented the legislation and impacted the lives that we are impacting now.
Change started at the local level, right? It took a local lawmaker to write this bill. And now we're seeing change happen across the country because of it, because other local lawmakers saw what she did. That's part of the beauty of what we do, getting to do it here in our communities.